First at 9, ensuring safe and affordable housing in Springfield. That's the goal behind a new pilot program that aims to make sure that homes and apartments are up to city code. Francis Watson joins us in the West Central neighborhood with the details. Francis.
Yeah, Rob, roughly nearly 2 years ago, a housing study was done and found that about 5% or roughly 2,200 rental properties in Springfield were unsafe. That's according to council member Brandon Jensen. It's part of the reason behind the program unanimously approved tonight that'll start right here in the West Central neighborhood.
No one should have to live in those kinds of conditions. It's subhuman.
Allie Humblow says she's seen her fair share of homes in Springfield in disrepair. It's a story we've covered numerous times over the years.
I'm on Social Security disability myself. And these are the kind of places that I'm expected to live.
Not only is she a renter, but part of a group who's been advocating for better living conditions of rental properties across the city.
It feels really empowering that we can finally do something to help our city and help our community.
We understand the concerns that the landlords have and also understand those concerns that the tenants have as well.
Next spring, city leaders will roll out a rental inspection pilot program. City inspectors will start in the West Central neighborhood, taking a closer look at properties to make sure they're up to code. Landlords will also have to apply for a yearly rental license.
We chose that neighborhood based off of the age of structures. It's the second or third oldest structure-wise neighborhood in the city. Also where we were seeing a lot of nuisance service requests, a lot of nuisance complaints.
Building and Development Services Director Martin Google says the startup program will determine if it gets expanded.
There may be some that feel like, well, this isn't going far enough, and I totally understand that. Again, looking at it from a pilot program standpoint, start small, work your way bigger. So, maybe they're not getting everything they want up front, but we're working our way towards that.
My hope is that in ensuring that these homes are all up to code and safe to live in, that will then further stabilize rent prices and make it safer for families to stay here.
Now, over the next few months, the city will add staff and resources to get the program going. It's set to begin in March. Reporting live in West Central neighborhood of Springfield, I'm Francis Watson. Rob, back to you.